Year's Eve, the foundation will deliver mortgage-free homes to dozens and dozens of America's catastrophically injured veterans, fallen first responder families, and Gold Star families. Bring hope to heroes. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now. Fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Well, the Libyan man accused of making the bomb that blew up Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland 34 years ago faces his first hearing in court today. Someone who's been behind bars in Missouri for a crime dating back 28 years faces what could be a last hearing, hoping to be set free.
49-year-old Lamar Johnson was sentenced to life in prison for a 1994 murder that he maintains he never committed. Another man pled guilty in exchange for a light sentence, though the lone witness in the case has since recanted, with embattled St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner alleging that police made up evidence and secretly paid the witness, calling for Johnson's conviction to be overturned. While outgoing Attorney General Eric Schmidt says that Johnson was rightfully convicted, and also asking the court to sanction Gardner, accusing her of concealing evidence that would point to Johnson's guilt. The hearing over Johnson's case could last several days. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
This is the first full day on the job for Los Angeles' new mayor, former Congresswoman Karen Bass. The city's first female leader sworn in yesterday by Vice President Harris. And she says today,
my first act as mayor will be to declare a state of emergency on homelessness.
50 years ago today, astronauts were on the moon in their final manned mission. Now, NASA's hailing the success of a new era of moon exploration, returning the new Orion spacecraft to Earth, splashing down yesterday. It's the first of many to come.
This time, we go back to the moon to learn to live, to work, to invent, to create.
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson. This was an unmanned test mission flying around the moon. The next one may have astronauts on board in 2024. Astronauts may land on the moon again in 2025. On Wall Street, some gains this morning. The Dow up 220 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Hey, I'm former New York City cab driver Jimmy Fallon, inviting you to join me weekdays from 10 to 1 on Fox Across America on AM 930 and 103.9 FM KROE.
First Federal Bank and Trust is committed to our community.
Beginning in January, we'll be donating $1,000 cash each week for 52 weeks to a qualified Sheridan County nonprofit organization, and Sheridan Media will match that with a marketing budget.
First Federal is one of 2 mutual banks in Wyoming, which means they don't pay stockholders. They reinvest your funds right back into the place we call home. Visit efirstfederal.bank for details. Community commitment, presented by
First Federal Bank and Trust
and Sheridan Media.
Member FDIC.
Are you wondering what your business is worth, or have you considered buying or selling a business? Contact me, Alicia Cox, Certified Valuation Professional at Harker Mellinger, to discuss how a business valuation can help you determine the proper values in gifting, estate planning, and the purchase or sale of your business. Harker Mellinger has been providing professional valuation services since 1995. Schedule an appointment today to discuss how a business valuation can work for you. Harker Mellinger, located at 1811 South Sheridan Avenue in Sheridan.
Want to save some money on your pre-holiday preparations? Well, check out the Christmas online auction at SheridanMedia.com. Get your carpets clean before Santa arrives. Pick up project supplies, rent equipment you need. Get holiday decorations with local retail store certificates. And when you're done working, there's plenty of dining and entertainment certificates too. Buy one for you, buy one as a gift. It's live now. Check it out. Christmas online auction. SheridanMedia.com. Auction ends December 15th.
No matter what, people need what you bring them. But sometimes a choice has to be made. You can make a safe one. Always expect a train. Know that trains can run on any track at any time in either direction. Understand that trains are faster and quieter than you think. You can stop track tragedies. Never try to beat a train. You are more important than your packages. See tracks? Think train. Go to oli.org.
Sponsored by the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters, Wyoming Operation Lifesaver, and this station. The holidays are here, and the Cozy Corner gift shop, just inside Sheridan Memorial Hospital, has something for everyone on your nice list. When you shop at the Cozy Corner, you're not only buying a gift, you're also giving back. We donate all of the proceeds to the Sheridan Memorial Hospital Foundation to support hospital projects. From decorations to clothing, we have all of your holiday essentials. Stop by and find the perfect gift today, and Merry Christmas from all of your Cozy Corner volunteers.
At Prime Rec Motors, they know that everyone's story is different. At Prime Rec Motors, they recently had a customer stop in that had been in an accident, had no trade-in, but instead had a check from her insurance company to replace her totaled SUV. All the stars must have been aligned just right that day, because she drove out with not only the perfect car for her, but it was in the color that she said she had always wanted. Problem solved at Prime Rate Motors, Super Trailer Store, 2305 Coffeen Avenue in Sheridan.
The team at First Federal Bank and Trust is once again partnered with Sheridan Media for our annual Christmas Wish campaign, a campaign to help people who've fallen on temporary hard times.
Our team at First Federal Bank and Trust is committed to helping individuals and families in our community who need a helping hand up. Our commitment has been and continues to be our community. In years past, the Christmas Wish program has provided gift certificates for groceries, gifts for children, and paying bills. I invite you to join the First Federal Bank and Trust team in supporting the Christmas Wish campaign.
The wish you could smell this ad deal. Because if you could, you'd be smelling McDonald's fries right now. And they smell like McDonald's fries.
Enjoy one of our $3.50 bundles, like 6-piece chicken McNuggets, hot and spicy McChicken, or a McDouble, each paired with small fries. And add in any size Coke or sweet tea. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is Public Pulse, your information and conversation program, brought to you by First Federal Bank and Trust. You can voice your opinion by calling 672-KROE. That's 672-5763. Now, your host for Public Pulse, Floyd Whiting.
Good morning and welcome to Public Pulse. Now, a winter storm warning is in effect beginning at 11 a.m. today until 5 a.m. Thursday morning. Now, periods of moderate to heavy snow are expected. Total snow accumulations are estimated to be between 10 and 16 inches. Winds will gust as high as 35 miles an hour. This warning covers all of Sheridan and Johnson counties. Now, if we're going to be snowed into the city, it's a good time to head downtown and make sure you've gotten your Christmas shopping done. The 27th Annual Christmas Stroll was held Friday, November 25th, and joining me to talk about that and all things Chamber of Commerce is the Chief Executive Officer for the Sheridan County Chamber, Dixie Johnson, and Member Relations Director, Bobby Mitzel. Good morning, Chamber.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Bobby, welcome to the show. What exactly is a Member Relations Director, and what are your duties?
Good morning, Floyd. Thanks for having us. As Member Relations Director, I am really helping to sustain the organization. A lot to do with member engagement, making sure that the Chamber has 746 members at the moment. So a vibrant Chamber, and we really work to engage those members, make sure they're utilizing all the features and benefits at the Chamber, which is extensive, and we're proud of that. Recruiting new members is a big part of the job, and building relationship and maintaining relationship with those members, and taking that back to the team, getting their feedback, taking it back to the team, and then we really examine our programs and what we're offering to members and try to build those to suit the needs and keep things going to make sure their value of investment is matched and met, and we're meeting their needs.
So basically, you're kind of the face I'm going to see visiting my business and saying, Floyd, you do X, Y, and Z. Oh, by the way, we have this program that helps out with X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I've noticed you're not taking advantage of it. Let's get you on board.
Like a gym membership.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. You're my personal business trainer, right?
Absolutely.
For the Chamber, at least, go ahead, take advantage of these programs.
Yeah.
And if I have a problem, I tell you, and you take it back to Dixie and her team and basically say, okay, we've got an issue.
And we might work that into our Ignite Business Conference. We might, find resources and put that in our chamber online newsletter. It might be something that comes up from the Small Business Development Council, an article or something, and we try to capture that information and get it to our members.
How long have you been in this position?
Since August of last year, so a little over a year.
A little over a year. In that amount of time, what would you say has been your greatest challenge that you've had to face? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but
that's okay. She's good at that.
Well, honestly, it really is meeting people, remembering all of I thought I knew a lot of people in my previous position. I'm meeting all the people.
Yeah, that's a lot of folks.
It was drinking from a fire hydrant at first. I really enjoy it. And the connections and making connections and connecting people to each other is awesome. But it's if I have to meet you twice, please, please forgive me.
I understand that. I absolutely understand that position. Sometimes I meet new people on here. I'll get downtown. I'll see a face, and I'm like, oh, I want to say hi to that person. Let me go to the website and get their name real quick. It's the amount of individuals. It's not that you don't make like an interpersonal connection.
Oh, yeah.
It's just all the time. And so I can kind of get on board with you on that as far as meeting folks being a bit of a challenge when you have to meet that many that quickly. Obviously, you like the position.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it do you really enjoy?
I'm a people person, the extrovert. And so it really is building relationship. And how long have you been? Are you a Sheridanite? Where'd you come from? How's your family?
Yeah.
What?
It's a bit of an interview, huh?
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That type of thing. So, yeah. You're my new best friend.
Exactly. But at the same time, I mean, by developing that, you're really helping individuals with their business because then you get to know the person, you get to know their motivations.
The challenges.
Absolutely.
The hardships, the positives, the pluses. So.
And then you find little ways. How can I help you out?
Right.
Right. Yeah. And that's exactly
important.
what the chamber is about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Dixie, how was the stroll?
The stroll was outstanding. Phenomenal year again this year. It was our 27th annual Christmas stroll. As we learned a couple years ago during COVID, when we went to an all-day stroll, that made sense to our businesses. They wanted to keep it. So for the second year running, we have a hybrid version, which I think is our new normal now.
Just the new version.
So start and stroll at 8 a.m. on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it runs all the way till 8 p.m. We do close the streets down from 4 to 8 p.m., but people are out checking their button numbers, buying buttons. Businesses are posting their specific unique number starting that day, that morning. And really the reason behind Stroll is to drive commerce, is to help our local businesses, is to encourage and motivate people to support their local businesses. And it's really working. And so our businesses have reported back to us just another, I don't know necessarily if you'd say record breaking. I think for some it was, but just really overall phenomenal sales for the day of Christmas Stroll. And a lot of just good feeling, goodwill, people in the holiday spirit. The stroll itself brought, thousands downtown. Businesses were handing out hot chocolate and roasting marshmallows, and there were, wagon rides, and we had Santa and Mrs. Claus, and there were carolers, and it was just a really, really wonderful event. We were really fortunate this year, of course, with the weather. That always helps out if the weather is decent, even if it's snowing, but when it's really tough, it makes it hard for people to get downtown. But it was overall a fantastic Christmas stroll. Thanks to all the businesses that participated and are still participating, and thanks to all of the people that are supporting our local businesses.
Now, when it comes to turnout, did we hit a high number on that, do you think? Or?
We don't track numbers necessarily, but yes. I mean, I don't know if you would say high, but we have seen consistently more and more people coming in, buying stroll buttons, and we ran out again this year.
That's great.
after we increased the number from last year that we purchased and that we had to sell. And so last year we had 2,500 stroll buttons, and we ran out early on that Friday on Christmas stroll morning. And this year, the stroll committee decided to go ahead and increase that by another 250 buttons. And so we had 2,750 buttons, and we still ran out and sold all of them probably by noon or so on Christmas stroll day. So interestingly, with our physical location on Main Street, we're at 54 South Main. So we're right there on the corner of Works and Main. A lot of people coming into the chamber, a lot of people going into the stroll participating businesses to try to find buttons. We're seeing a lot of new people in the community, or people who said, I'm in town, I'm visiting my family, and we want to participate because we heard stroll is so great. And so we have seen kind of a new, almost a new group of people that are experiencing stroll maybe for their first time, even though we've been doing it for 27 years. And so, we'll be exploring that and seeing if we need to increase those buttons a little bit for next year as well. We still don't want to, open it up and have 5,000 buttons and then be stuck, with that many. Plus, it creates that kind of that sense of excitement and urgency to get your stroll button early.
A little bit of exclusivity. I can't say that word.
Exclusivity.
There you go. Exactly. Got to get down there. Got to get these buttons before they run out. And the feel of stroll, is something.
It's like a Hallmark movie.
It really is. But see, that's what a lot of these people who are moving in from out of state are looking for.
Yeah, the whole experience.
They're
From the
coming
hot
to
cocoa
Sheridan.
to the Santa and Mrs. Claus, the hay rides. It's literally like a Hallmark movie.
I hear a lot of folks, and maybe it's just because of my position, complain about people from California, right? Like the devil's state. But the idea is this. The folks that are moving into Sheridan that I've talked to share our values. That's why they're moving here. They're looking for exactly what we have, that hometown feel. And this, even in California, in the parts when they would do something like this, I'm pretty sure it would feel pretty produced, where it's like, seems like you're forcing this, where we can do it naturally. Because that's who we actually are as a culture.
Right.
And so that's what I've heard mostly from people moving from out of state. I came here because I share the values of Sheridan. I came here because I was looking for a hometown to raise my children in. And so I think it's great for those individuals moving in who just jump right in, feet first, where they're like, you know what? I'm buying the button. I'm going down. I'm going to become a full Sheridanite from the very beginning. And so I think that's fantastic to hear that you're seeing new faces down there, Dick.
And absolutely. And again, supporting our businesses and helping our economy and moving our economy forward. That's why the chamber exists, right? So it's really important, and it's really exciting to see. It's interesting as we went through the community review, which I know I've been on here talking to you about, and we're waiting on that final report. But some of our partners with the Economic Development Task Force that the chamber participates in, we've had some discussion around, our community and the growth of our community and the future of our community. And Robert Briggs says it best, and as a planner, as somebody who's worked for the city, works for the college, and works for CETA, he said, a community is either growing or it is in decline. Mm-hmm. It cannot stay static. It will not stay static, and change is inevitable. So you either are changing for the positive or you're changing for the negative. And so, when people have, and I've traveled across the Midwest and some other communities where you see their main streets, with boarded up windows and businesses closed, we really, I think it's a good time to reflect and count our blessings in our community, that we are in a forward momentum position, right? And rather than the alternative.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. I do a lot of staycations, and I won't name any towns that I visit, but I visit a lot of towns and cities here in Wyoming, and it's heartbreaking, to walk downtown in a lot of these locations, because it's cardboard window after cardboard window. And it makes you really appreciate where we live every day, to be able to walk downtown with my wife, window shop with these beautiful windows that are, these massive displays, a snow globe Christmas. It's great.
The theme was outstanding this
People
year.
loved it. It was great to see.
It was so much fun, and there was such creativity. In fact, I think the People's Choice Lighting and Decorating Contest just closed last night, and Sheridan Media was a great partner in helping us with that. Again, our businesses who, just pulled out all the stops to decorate their businesses inside and out. Thank you to them.
50 participants.
Oh, fantastic.
And I think we've had over 400, maybe over 500 people vote in the lighting and decorating, the People's Choice Lighting and Decorating Contest. So thanks to Sheridan Media for partnering with us on that. That's also just one part of Christmas Stroll. That's one part of the whole package that makes us like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out that 15 of those participants were off of Main Street. And so that's great too. And if you want to participate, it's free if you're a stroll participant. So next year in October, be looking for the registration for stroll participation.
Yeah.
And actually, the Christmas Stroll Committee will meet in the spring to select the theme for next year. Last year, I think it was a gingerbread Christmas. This year was snow globe Christmas. So we'll see what that Christmas Stroll Committee comes up with in the spring. And then we'll open up our button design contest to all the youth throughout Sheridan County in grades 1 through 6 again.
And what I really like, we're getting to the 27th year.
Right.
This year. So you've got people who grew up with this,
Mm-hmm.
who are now bringing their children and their families downtown to go
Right.
shop. This is a Sheridan tradition of an institution.
Right.
I mean, Dixie, out of all of it, what has been the biggest challenge this year to make sure that Stroll goes off without a hitch? Because, you keep it together really well, but that's got to be a stressful time.
The biggest challenge to make sure it goes off without a hitch, that's an interesting question. I'll say one of the challenges that we experienced at the chamber was really around the stroll buttons, maybe not having enough. It would have been nice to get a few more out there.
Yeah.
So that was just maybe a minor road bump, if you will. I think the biggest challenge every year, and it's one that we talk about at the Christmas Stroll Committee every year as they're meeting prior to, is just the worry: are people going to be out? Are they going to stay local? Or are they going to support our local businesses? Because and that's always just a challenge and creates a little bit of anxiety until we actually have Stroll and have had that success, which ultimately is because it means success to our businesses. So. I guess I don't know that there is a major challenge this year. I mentioned the weather and how nice it was. I don't know if you'll recall, but the Saturday after Stroll this year, we had that freezing rain.
Oh.
Well, back in 2019, we had a kind of the same type of situation where it was freezing rain, got really cold. The sidewalks, the streets, everything were just a sheet of ice, and you couldn't put enough salt out there to keep people safe. Mm-hmm. And so that was unfortunate that it impacted Stroll, and that was before we went to the all-day version, right?
Yeah.
To the hybrid.
So you only had a very small window to get out
Yeah,
there.
so when I was watching it this year, we had beautiful weather. Lots of people came out, and I was just really pleased. I was really thankful that we didn't have the following day's weather one day earlier this year.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All the stars aligned this year. When we come back, we're going to continue with the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce. This is Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
First Federal Bank and Trust is committed to our community.
Beginning in January, we'll be donating $1,000 cash each week for 52 weeks to a qualified Sheridan County nonprofit organization, and Sheridan Media will match that with a marketing budget.
First Federal is one of 2 mutual banks in Wyoming, which means they don't pay stockholders. They reinvest your funds right back into the place we call home. Visit efirstfederal.bank for details. Community commitment, presented by
First Federal Bank and Trust
and Sheridan Media.
Member FDIC.
Okay, true or false? Candy canes were invented at the North Pole. That is actually true. You know what else is also true? You can get great Christmas gift at Handel Service Center. Think about a snowplow for his 4x4 side-by-side. Heck, think about a 4x4 side-by-side for that special gift. There's snowmobiling accessories, Bluetooth speaker systems for your 4x4, or how about that crazy new Mad Rams? You gotta see those to believe them. Christmas shopping at Hando. Ho, ho, ho's.
Dr. Joseph Katchke, Ben Fowler, and David Fisher of Wild Vision Associates say, let's take a moment to donate a toy, warm jackets, and food to our local donation centers for your favorite charity this holiday season. Many children and families may be forgotten unless we get involved. Your help could make a huge difference. This reminder brought to you by Wild Vision Associates. Dial 673-5177 or visit wildvision.com. Wild Vision Associates, wishing everyone a safe and happy holiday season.
We're giving away $2,500 in gift cards. Ho, ho, ho. Kurt Smith here for the Sheridan Commercial Company. Beginning Monday, December 19th, and every day until Friday, December 23rd, we're giving away $500 in gift cards every day. 10 $50 winners each day for 5 days for $2,500 in gift cards. That's right. Come in and register every day. Our first $500 in gift cards will be given away starting Monday, December 19th. Merry Christmas from all of us at the Sheridan Commercial Company at 303 Broadway.
The 25th annual Christmas Wish campaign is drawing to an end, and thank you once again to everyone who took the time to send in wishes and all of you that donated. Here is another wish. Dear Christmas Wish, this family has had a very hard go of it recently. Mom is due with her third child, and Dad just began working again after being laid off for a while. He had to move the family last minute because the landlord put their home on the market. Consequently, their money is going to rent and deposits for the next few months, and this little family could definitely use a little help right now, especially during Christmas. If you'd like to donate to this couple that live here in our Sheridan area, you could donate to the Christmas Wish program. Stop by our Sheridan Media studios or go online to our Christmas Wish at SheridanMedia.com. And thank you to our community partners, Atlas Chiropractic, First Federal Bank and Trust, Heartland Kubota, Advanced Auto Body, A-Line Roofing and Exteriors, Wyoming Corporate Office, and Odell Construction.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by First Federal Bank and Trust. I'm Floyd Whiting. With me this morning is the Chief Executive Officer for the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce, Dixie Johnson, and Member Relations Director, Bobby Mitzvah. Now, Chamber Bucks, live life local. These make an excellent Christmas present. I take my wife shopping on Chamber Bucks every year.
Good.
Given to us
Good.
by our regional or our general manager here.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's our big Christmas bonus, and we all get to run downtown. And you know, I thought to myself, well, this is an excellent opportunity to spend a bunch of money on myself. You know? But in reality, you know, what makes me happy is making her happy, and so we both win there, right? There you go. Took me 42 years to get here, Bobby. Now, Dixie, these are just like money downtown. Can you tell us a little bit about this program?
Well, they are money. So not just like money, they are money. They're an actual check. And so, you know, many of us have checking accounts, have had checking accounts for years. It's still, it is a checking account. And so our Chamber Bucks account, the checks that you receive that you can then go and spend at local businesses, spend just like a check or cash. So typically what happens with the Chamber Buck, so Floyd, if I'm going to give you a Chamber Buck and say how much I appreciate you and you know, had a great year, I would say go to the Chamber, order a Chamber Buck, and say they'll leave the pay to the order of blank so that wherever you spend that can be filled in with that business. So that's the goal, is again to recognize you and appreciate you, but ultimately allow you to go and spend that at a local business, which overall is great because it turns over in our economy, right? So any business that will accept cash or checks can accept Chamber Bucks checks. And I would encourage our businesses to take chamber bucks checks. If you are a business owner and somebody comes in with a $50 check and they buy something for $30, give them $20 cash back. Some businesses have chosen to give gift cards back because they want them to spend the whole thing there, but ultimately they deposit that whole $50, so it spends just like cash. Absolutely. We have had phenomenal support of the chamber bucks, and it is again one additional way that the chamber can help with driving commerce and helping our local businesses. So that's why we do it.
And I'll tell you what, if you've got a teenager in your home, we all know how quickly they can change their mind, right? I've got extended family who are asking, what does Katie want for Christmas? Well, it changes on a daily basis. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, you can go down, get yourself some chamber bucks, and give those. Let her go shopping.
Give the gift of shopping,
there you
right?
go. And it's something that she enjoys to do anyway.
Right.
So win-win right there.
Right.
I don't see how, teenagers can do this. I don't remember changing my mind that much. I'm sure that I did, but it's just so quick.
Or the parent who has everything.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and it also may teach some younger people what a check is.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes.
Because not everybody knows it, not as many people use checks any longer, but they actually, we've looked at different other like gift card types, platforms and that type of thing, but we actually really like the simplistic way that the chamber bucks support our local businesses, and they still continue to rise in popularity. Businesses are giving them out as employee bonuses. You just mentioned that.
Yep. Many.
People are getting them for Christmas gifts. We have people that actually come in and buy chamber bucks with their debit cards, and then they take the chamber bucks out and buy the gifts for their spouse, so their spouse doesn't know where they're spending their debit card if they have a joint checking account.
That's clever.
Yep. Peg Martin, I'm going to give her credit for that.
Clever, though.
Several years ago, she came in and did that when she was getting ready to go shop for her husband, Doug. And she's like,
Doug.
yeah, I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend these in local businesses and get him his Christmas presents. And he'll have no idea other than I spent some money at the chamber.
Man, that is
and getting
smart.
chamber bucks. So they do spend just like cash. I would encourage anybody to just make sure you ask that business when you go in. And encourage businesses to accept them, of course. But there are a few that, whether their point of sale system or some other corporate policy might not allow them to accept them.
Yeah,
It's always just good to ask that question in advance. But most of our local businesses throughout Sheridan County do accept chamber bucks. And we don't require them to be a chamber member. There's no requirement that they have to be a member of the chamber. It's about supporting our local economy.
Really?
So any business that will accept chamber bucks, encourage people to spend them there.
That's fantastic.
And I looked the statistic up again last week, but for every dollar spent in the community, 67 cents stays in the community 3 times over.
Oh, wow.
And that's at a local business.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Small business.
It really is.
Now, is there a list anywhere? I mean, or does this? It's always developing.
So, are you talking about a list of
I'm sorry,
businesses?
Yes, a list of businesses that would accept.
So,
this
what
that I
we
can
do
just
on the
put in
chamber
my
bucks
pocket?
on the bottom of the chamber bucks, we have just a way to direct people to our Chamber of Commerce website. And that's where we have our membership directory. So it's you can pull it up on your phone, you can pull it up on a computer, you can look at our community guide that has a printed membership directory. But again, you can walk up and down Main Street or head out to Coffee or head on up to North Main or head to Dayton or Manchester, or, any of the small communities around and find some local businesses that should accept chamber bucks.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up is, chamber bucks are paper, and paper is cheaper than plastic. So by staying with that check form, you're saving money as well. As
Absolutely.
opposed to having to print these fancy gift cards that go around. I'm sure those would be expensive. So we're really saving more money to put back into the community.
And we've had people buy chamber bucks and then go to a business and buy a gift card with the chamber bucks. I mean, that can happen as well.
Yeah.
So if they, again, it's all about supporting our local businesses.
And using it that way to make sure that your spouse can't see, ooh, they went shopping at the sporting goods store.
Right.
I know I'm getting that fishing rod this year that I've been pointing out. Yeah, that's ingenious. Very good use of chamber bucks on that. Make sure you head on down there. If you want to pick some up, Dixie, where do I just go down to the chamber?
You can probably for just more efficiency and to make sure we have them ready for you. If you give us a call at 672-2485, anybody on our team can take the order and have them ready when you're ready to pick them up. One thing I do want to point out, our office will be closed early this Friday at 2:00. We're having our office staff Christmas party, so we're going to close a little early.
I'm going to beat everyone in bowling.
Yeah, we're going bowling out of Cloud Peak Lanes. And then also, if you order, our office will be closed on the 23rd as well, and the 24th and 25th, of course. But so have your chamber bucks picked up and ordered well before the 22nd. If you don't mind, that would be very helpful.
Everyone needs a break, folks, even our local chamber. All right, now the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors is made up of 13 to 15 members of the Sheridan business community. Dixie, how does one become a member of this board?
So our board of directors, every year, they appoint from within themselves, within their body, a nominating committee, and they work together to identify individuals, businesses, people who have maybe have some different skill sets, maybe have expertise, maybe represent a different industry that would be somebody they'd want to talk to about, considering joining the chamber board of directors and really guiding our organization. So it is a kind of an intentional process. They have a matrix that they use, and our bylaws require us to have a diverse board of directors by industry so that they can adequately really represent different industries throughout Sheridan County.
Absolutely, and bring the concerns of that industry to the table so that the board can take any kind of action that is within their power to change that. I think that's brilliant. It's a little bit bigger of a board, but for good reason.
Well, it's a pretty large organization. So if anybody is interested, however, so I just want to point this out, I do keep kind of a running list of names and or people who've maybe expressed interest in at some point becoming a member of our board of directors. I would certainly encourage them to reach out to me, and I'll make sure that their name gets on the list and have a conversation with them about kind of our process and what that looks like. So annually we go through and we review which terms are coming up, who's terming off of our board, because each of our board members can serve 2 consecutive 3-year terms on our board of directors, and then they have to be off for a year before they're eligible to come back on our boards. And we have a couple going off our board this year. I'd like to give a shout out to them if you don't mind.
Please do. They've served their community. Please
Absolutely.
Do.
So, our deep appreciation for their guidance, for their mentorship, for their leadership, for serving our board of directors and our whole community and chamber organization goes out to Patrick Akers, who's the owner of Qdoba. He's been on our board since 2017, so for 6 years, as well as Sasha Johnston, the owner of Sheridan County Title, who's also been on our board for 6 years and served 1 year. And unfortunately for her, the tumultuous year of COVID, right, as our board president. But she did an amazing job. So if you get a chance, if you see Patrick and or Sasha, tell them thank you. And we really appreciate their leadership.
I'll tell you what, I'll always remember Patrick because I was in Qdoba one day, and he's the first individual who looked up, because he was on the line cooking with everybody else. He looked up at me and he said, "You're Floyd Whiting." And recognized me on voice alone. He was the first one in town to be able to do that. And I had to say, yes, sir, I am. All right. Now, I got one quick question, then I got to go to a commercial. How does the board work with you, Dixie, the chamber chief executive officer? Because you really are the one behind the day-to-day operations, making sure that the decisions that they make are followed through with. How do you work together?
Oh, it's a very, very good relationship. Our board of directors is our governing body. And so, of course, they have certain requirements as a governing board of directors. We're a 501c6 private nonprofit corporation, but we also have a 501c3 foundation as well. Basically, the structure is they oversee the organization and they hire me, and then they allow me then to hire chamber staff and run the day-to-day operations, help with strategic direction. But really, they're in place to help guide and set policy and make sure that they have their eyes on our organization as a whole. And but I report directly to them, and they really don't get into the weeds. That's what a lot of people call it, too often or too much. We have a fantastic board, and they work on strategic planning. They pay close attention to bylaws and review those. We update and revise and work on policies, and then they take action where and when needed. So, for instance, if we have something that the chamber wants to bring our big voice to advocate on behalf of our business community, that could come through a committee, possibly as a recommendation to our board, but our board actually has the authority to take action and resolve to support or, to support something or to oppose something if it's legislation or something else that might be going on in our community.
A lot of stuff, a lot of fingers. All right. When we come back, we're going to continue with our Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce. This is Public Pulse on 930 KROE, 103.9 FM. Sheridan.
First Federal Bank and Trust is committed to our community.
Beginning in January, we'll be donating $1,000 cash each week for 52 weeks to a qualified Sheridan County nonprofit organization, and Sheridan Media will match that with a marketing budget.
First Federal is one of 2 mutual banks in Wyoming, which means they don't pay stockholders. They reinvest your funds right back into the place we call home. Visit efirstfederal.bank for details. Community commitment. Presented by
First Federal Bank and Trust
and Sheridan Media.
Member FDIC.
The owners and staff at Kane's Funeral Home would like to thank the families of Sheridan and Johnson counties for choosing Kane's and allowing them to serve you during these hard times. Kane Funeral Home makes it their mission to take the stress and uncertainty out of ceremonial services. They own and operate the only crematory in Sheridan County, so your loved one is always in their care. Kane's Funeral Home. Call 673-5837 or visit them online at canefuneral.com.
Honey, did you get everything for the party tonight?
Yep, got the snack tray, napkins, drinks. Oh, dang it, I went to the store and got everything but the ice.
No problem. Stop by the Hydro Cube ice machine on Caffeine. It's quick and easy, and you won't have to wait in any lines.
Really? Where on Caffeine?
I'm sure you've driven by it 100 times. It's next to the street in the bowling alley parking lot. The Hydro Cube ice and water machine for all your holiday parties.
Face it, you don't want to do your own plumbing and heating work or repair. You need a professional, and that is exactly what you will get if you work with Rapp Plumbing and Heating. Being fully licensed, bonded, and insured, you can rest assured that they will take care of your repairs and maintenance in the very best way possible. Call Rapp Plumbing and Heating at 429-1196 and rest easy knowing it'll be done right. This is Dan Rapp with Rapp Plumbing and Heating. And as we like to say, if you find a leak, let me take a peek.
I'm with Candace Crane from Sheridan Honda and Power Sports.
Tommy, hi. For the first time in years, we have a full showroom of Power Sports, and we're ready to offer some great deals.
Okay, what kind of deals?
For December only, we are discounting all of our in-stock dirt bikes, ATVs, side-by-sides, and snowmobiles anywhere from $100 to $1,000 off.
I want that.
Me too, and we can help you finance your purchase with no money down and no payments for 90 days.
Oh, you don't want to miss out, though, because the discounts only last through the end of December at Sheridan Honda and Power Sports.
We're giving away $2,500 in gift cards. Ho, ho, ho. Kurt Smith here for the Sheridan Commercial Company. Beginning Monday, December 19th, and every day until Friday, December 23rd, we're giving away $500 in gift cards every day. 10 $50 winners each day for 5 days for $2,500 in gift cards. That's right. Come in and register every day. Our first $500 in gift cards will be given away starting Monday, December 19th. Merry Christmas from all of us at the Sheridan Commercial Company at 303 Broadway.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by First Federal Bank and Trust. I'm Floyd Whiting, and with me this morning is the Chief Executive Officer for the Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce, Dixie Johnson, and Members Relations Director, Bobby Mitzel. Now, Dixie, go ahead and tell us about the upcoming Chamber Community Guide and Member Directory. This is a pretty good sized publication, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And we've been partnering with the Sheridan Press on this for several years. When I first started with the Chamber back in 2011, we were working with a kind of a national company. I think the name of it was Journal Communications, and we were doing our own kind of our relocation community piece. But we realized that there's great value in partnering locally, right? And so we're pleased to be able to partner with our local print publication. And so we put together this community guide every year, and it does serve as our official relocation guide for the entire year. So we're right in the throes of I think advertising sales and putting together all of the information that we want to make sure is included in there. And we distributed, and I say we, the Chamber, the press, throughout the community, different avenues, relocation guides that we send out, about 9,000 this last year of the 2022 guides. So the next one is in the works right now. And I would highly encourage people, and I'll have Bobby talk a little bit about this, but if you've been contemplating becoming a chamber member, getting your name in that member directory, it's printed one time a year, and we'll have that printed directory to the press by the end of this year. Now's the time to enact on that, to make sure you're in that printed directory. Of course, our online one is updated in real time, but it's important, and those do get distributed to people looking to relocate to the community, to people who are here visiting the community. They stop in the chamber. We get several requests via our website, as well as phone calls asking us to send a relocation packet. They're contemplating coming to the community, or they just want to know a little bit more if they're planning some type of vacation. So, I'd encourage people to participate and support that community guide, and we'll probably have a distribution of about 9,000, 9,500 this next year.
Bobby, when I was growing up, I didn't really understand what the chamber was. As I got older, I thought it was just for businesses only. But once I got into journalism and really started learning what the chamber does, what your duties are, and how a community benefits from having a chamber, it is one of the first locations that I like to find when I go to a city or when I go to a new town, because I know they're going to have something like this. And all I got to do is, it's like a guide to the city, isn't it?
It's great. And many people do. It is awesome for relocation packets. We get tons of requests asking for information about our city. And we can kind of thank Sheridan Travel and Tourism for bringing awareness to the city. Yes, for sure. But also many questions about, there's a certain demographic that we're their internet.
Yeah.
But there's also people that come for, just information about what the happenings are, where to go, what to do. These community guides are great because they're also distributed in our hotels, our restaurants, but we do get them to businesses as well. I don't know if you've seen them around. I hope you have. There's a little girl roping for the 2022 guide on the front. But
adorable.
They're filled with, they do feature our Award of Excellence winners. That's a fun thing. But they also have the demographics of Sheridan. You can find out the median home prices, the population, all of those things. So that's a great thing to have at your fingertips, the parks and pathways map. But there's different articles about different facets of business here in Sheridan. But the big thing is that member directory at the end. So all of those 746 businesses are listed under categories that make sense, and it's a really great resource. And that actually, the deadline for that to be considered or printed in that community guide is Friday. So I'd love to talk to you about having your name in there for next year. It's a really great resource, and you can reach me at the chamber at 672-2485 because there's so many benefits to being a chamber member when it comes to promotional opportunities and connection opportunities, and there's plenty of education opportunities that we offer that help grow your business, retain employees, and then, it's the chamber's kind of a layer of onion. So you're also supporting us with lots of things that we're doing with our committees, our business retention expansion, government affairs, ag and natural resources. And so we appreciate your support and want to help you grow your business.
Now, for those individuals out there who are just starting a business, maybe they haven't considered the chamber yet because you're juggling paint cans and you want to make sure that the lids remain on. Chamber's the one who's going to help you keep those lids on and maybe even take a paint can or two. So when you're first starting a business, it feels chaotic. You're motivated, you're happy, you're optimistic. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot to do. And there's a lot, if you haven't owned a business in the past, there's a lot to learn. Mm-hmm. And what's the current stat right now, Dixie? And I'm putting you on the spot. Is it like 95% of businesses fail within the first year or something?
Yeah, I'm not
like
sure what the current is, but it's a pretty significant
pretty
number.
high,
it's a significant number.
So getting help wherever you can get it is so beneficial. And so joining the chamber, I think, is a fantastic idea, especially if you're just a budding business and you feel like you got your hands full. You got a helping hand out there.
But that's the fun of it all on my part. I mean, it's a really great opportunity, and we're there to help. And so, yeah, give me a call because we're behind you 100%.
And you can get like advertising with this community publication. As Bobby said, these things, they're everywhere. And it's something that I like to use when I can find them in smaller towns. Now, save the dates. We've only got about 5 minutes left. Let's go ahead and look at this because this is important, Dixie. We've got a special pre-legislative lunch with our local legislators Wednesday, January 4th.
January 4th. So the legislative session will start on January 10th. Everybody will be down in Cheyenne. We just wrapped up our legislative forum, which is a full day event. But this will be an opportunity for anybody who wants to attend to come have lunch with our legislators. We're excited. It is a special event, and it will take place the week prior to our regular chamber lunch program. Okay. So I just don't want to confuse the two. But it is open to anybody who would like to attend. We've done it in the past in the morning, called it Eggs and Issues, but this year it's going to work better for a lunch. So I guess it's egg salad and issues, if you will.
There you go.
But it is open to anybody, and we're going to have a special presentation and visit by one of the some of the We the People teams that just won the state championship as well.
Those kids
don't want to
amazing.
miss it.
Those kids are amazing.
And so look for more information. We'll have it out in all of our media outlets. We'll get it to you. We'll also have it at the chamber and on our website at SheridanWyomingChamber.org. So put that on your calendars and then mark January 11th, 2023 as the first chamber lunch program of the year. And we'll deliver our annual report. We'll tell you how many chamber bucks we issued in 2022. We're hoping to exceed last year's total, which was $239,300. So that's money that goes back into our community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dixie, that's a great number.
I'm hoping that we exceed it.
Is that the highest we've had?
It is the highest we've had. And you know what's so funny? I look back because I have these listed out. When I started with the chamber the year before, I started in January. In 2010, we issued 26,200. And so now we're at 239,000. I don't know what percentage increase that is, but it's pretty significant,
That's
I think.
pretty good.
Thank you to everybody
you.
for supporting our local businesses.
Absolutely. Now, Dixie, as we go into the legislative session, is there anything that you're keeping an eye on?
We're keeping an eye on everything right now. You know, it's kind of early. We had that legislative forum, so listening to many people, organizations, visit with our legislators. We're just kind of watching to see. There's a lot of things kind of bubbling up to the surface. We'll see. There's still a couple of things around liquor licenses that are kind of hot topics. There's some other things. We just want to make sure that our legislators keep our businesses and the health of our businesses in mind when they're when they're enacting, taking action on legislation. And so we'll continue to bring our voice and visit with our legislators. But right now we're just kind of watching to see what's kind of bubbling up to the surface.
Yeah, because we're all at this stage where the committees are meeting. Is this actually going to make it to the floor? Is it going to make it to the House?
And we partner with several other chambers of commerce around the state. We are part of the Wyoming Business and Industry Federation Partnership. And so we're meeting on a weekly basis right now to kind of keep abreast of what's going on. We're great. One of our partners is the Cheyenne Chamber, and Dale does a fantastic job down there. So he keeps us pretty well informed.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. Dixie, Bobby, thank you both for coming in this morning. Be safe and stay warm in this upcoming weather.
You too. Thanks.
You've been listening to Public Pulse on 930 KROE and 103.9 FM, Sheridan.